Hey, I'm Valerie Costanza. I'm a registered dietitian and owner of Intentionally Balanced Wellness. I help women suffering from autoimmune diseases and other life-altering symptoms regain their balance, reclaim their life, and restore their health through my programs, which are rooted in functional nutrition and holistic approaches. Today, I want to talk to you about exercises. I have a lot of women who come to me wanting to exercise, but they're just too worn out. They say that they feel better when they do exercise, but the motivation to get there to exercise and then just afterwards, they just are too tired. So I want to talk to you about what the best practices are for when you're just too worn out to exercise. Let's talk about a former client. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah came to me when she was in her mid-20s. She had been diagnosed with PCOS, IBS. She had severe weight gain, rapid weight gain. She had severe anxiety, chronic fatigue, and depression, among lots of other things. But those were her main issues that she came to me with. She had joint pain and she was just worn out, but she knew that she wanted to work out. She knew that before she met with me, she knew that exercise helped her and she knew there was a problem and wanted to get better. So her friends encouraged her to go work out at a gym. She wanted to do this, so she hired a trainer. And she told me at one point that she was in the best shape of her life at that point because she was devoting the time to work with this trainer. And she did, body-wise, look better. She lost a little bit of weight, but then plateaued and didn't lose what she wanted to. But she was just so worn out. She couldn't stick with it. She couldn't continue. So she decided she had to quit. She knew at that point she had to make change for good. The biggest reason she knew was because she started losing her hair rapidly. So she came to me with all those issues and not able to work out. She was in her mid-20s and knew she should have enough energy to do the things that she wanted. So before she found me, and she not knowing what functional nutrition therapy was, she didn't know exactly what she needed. And I discussed functional nutrition therapy, which is what I do, and all the holistic practices that needed to be put in place. So when she put these things in place, everything improved and she was able to work out again. But I talked to her about being intentional about how much energy she put out. And for a little while for her, she was not able to put out a lot of energy and do those high intensity exercises. When we put out all that energy and stay in that fight or flight mode of doing those exercises, our nervous system gets put in that fight or flight mode. A lot of women having these autoimmune diseases or severe anxiety or joint pain, chronic fatigue, all these symptoms keep you in that sympathetic part of the nervous system, the fight or flight. So if you're continuing these exercises that are not helping you switch into the rest and digest or the parasympathetic part of your nervous system, then you're not able to heal. The exercises are not doing you any good. There is a time and a place for them, but when you have these chronic symptoms, it's not for you. So what do I recommend? One of my favorite things to do is yoga. So I have always been one of those exercisers that was, I'm going to do it intense. I'm going to run. I'm going to sweat. I'm going to breathe hard. If I'm not doing that, what's the point in working out? So I'm going to go hard and I'm going to do what I can to breathe hard and to sweat. Until my mom was dying of cancer. And then I just kind of intuitively knew my body didn't need that. I was going through a lot of stress, a lot of emotional changes and emotional hurt. And so I kind of intuitively knew I needed something gentler. So I looked for yoga. And yoga has been great. I love it. It builds my muscles. It helps me with mind control. It helps me with breath work and breathing. And it helps with a lot of different things. I don't get the sweat that I would if I went and ran, unless I'm doing hot yoga, but I really do enjoy it. So I do recommend that to a lot of my patients that need the gentler. I like to go to classes and support local if I can, but usually I don't have the time. So my favorite is using an app called Down Dog. The next thing I recommend is walking. Walking is so great for you, and there's so many improvements that can be made with walking. And if you're doing it quickly, then you can sweat, you can breathe hard, but you also aren't being very impactful on your joints, and it's not high intensity. For those that are staying in the sympathetic part of their nervous system, you don't need that high intensity. So what I recommend also to get that socialization is to recruit a friend. I love walking with friends because you can talk, you can get off your chest what you need to and talk through what's going on in your day and in your life. So you kind of get a double whammy for that walking. You can walk with friends, with anybody. It's free. You're getting that socialization. You're getting that physical balance. So you're kind of getting it all in one. So definitely walking is a great one. The next one I recommend is lifting weights, but doing it light. Don't get the heavy weights automatically. Go light, go slow. Get in weights that will help you build muscle, but not tear everything down and you are putting too much into it. The last thing is calisthenics. So using your own body weight. I kind of do this with yoga. I don't participate in the yoga method. I just use yoga for exercise, and I love the movements. I love the poses, and using my body as the weight and the body weight. It helps me to build muscle in that way. But there's lots of different ways to use calisthenics to build muscle and to get that gentler practice in, or that gentler workout. So those are my 4 favorite gentle practices for when you are just too worn out and too tired to work out. And back to Sarah. Sarah did make the intentional holistic diet changes, and as well as the holistic practices, lifestyle changes. And she was able to get back to working out. She ended up sleeping better. She ended up losing weight. She ended up having her hair grow back. Her hormones were balanced. Everything started snowballing, working out for her, and she wasn't taking medications anymore. Her anxiety had lessened, and she was, last I talked to her, she was on the right path and doing great. So if you feel like there's no hope, there is hope. There is a path for you. There is a future. Don't feel like you are stuck and there is no more hope and you are stuck in your symptoms. Again, I'm Valerie. Follow my channel. I'm brand new here and I can't wait to talk to you more about what I have going. And if you like something, comment, like it, follow me. I'd love to hear from you.